Welcome back to Harris Casino in Cherokee, North Carolina. We are set for tonight's main event on Friday Night Fights. Antwun Echols defends his USBA middleweight title and the vacant NABF crown against Lionel Ortiz. Ortiz from San Juan, Puerto Rico, fighting out of California and Florida. 159 pounds, 22-5-1 with 9 knockouts. He has a reach of 72 inches. His last 5 opponents, a not-so-sterling 64-25 with 46 knockouts, a win percentage of 72%. And not the greatest of competition. And he is coming off a knockout win. Antwun Echols is the reigning USBA champion. He had the NABF title as well, but he was stripped, or he lost the NABF title because when he went to fight Bernard Hopkins, he did not fight the NABF mandatory, so that vacant title is at stake. The Davenport, Iowa product is 23-3-1 with 22 knockouts. Coming off the February 17th knockout win against Anthony Ivory. Ivory had knocked out Echols in his pro debut. He fought for the IBF middleweight championship against Bernard Hopkins. His opponents a combined record of 113, 77, and 4 in his last 5, a win percentage of 58%. They will use the unified rules for this USBA NABF title bout, and they are as follows. No 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. Fighter cannot be saved with a bell in any round. Accidental foul, they'll go to the scorecards after 4 rounds are complete. Antwun Echols working with trainer Joe Goosen. They have been together for about 6 weeks. And Echols feels that he may have found the guy that can unlock his potential.
Well, the thing that they feel they've worked on the most is using that jab to set up his punches, not just walking in. We'll see how Echols uses that left hand.
Round number 1 underway, scheduled for 12. Echols in the white, Ortiz in the blue. Knockout ratio, Echols 82%. 16 of his 22 have come within the first 3 rounds. He has 2 knockouts past the 6th round. Ortiz has 1 knockout past the 6th round. Not a big puncher. Ortiz's career has been littered with layoffs. 4 times he's had layoffs of 11 months or more. Bill Clancy, the referee for the main event.
See that Ortiz does not want to get trapped on the ropes. Wants to use those legs with the big punch in Echols. Try to keep Echols from being set to punch.
Ortiz has limited amateur experience, 75 wins. Echols was a 1992 United States Olympic alternate.
Keep him up, Antwun.
He had battled Raul Marquez right down to the nitty-gritty to get that spot on the United States Olympic team in 1992 that went to Barcelona.
Matter of fact, Echols came very close to represent the U.S. in the Olympics. Lost in the box office to Marquez, the #1 amateur in the U.S. that year. He stunned Marquez from all accounts in the 3rd round.
I was there. It was in Phoenix, Arizona.
Received a long rest. Mr. Marquez did.
Yeah. The bell rang at 1:32 of the 3rd round, a little early. By the time they got it all sorted out, Marquez had gotten himself sorted out. Raul went on to win a world championship in the professional ranks.
And you see the strategy of Mr. Ortiz right now, a little leg movement and punching at the right time. Not wanting to open up too much, because if he opens up too much, he might get nailed by Echols. He's trying to be selective with his offense.
First of 12 rounds between Antwun Echols and Lionel Ortiz. Set for the start of round number 2 between Antwun Echols and Lionel Ortiz. Echols defending his USBA Middleweight Championship. And the vacant NABF Middleweight title on the line as well. Close first round. Good strategy by Ortiz. You mentioned selective with his offense. Has to pick his spots because Echols does have the power.
Yes. He's making sure that he's at the right range. He's not allowing Echols to get into punching range. You can see Ortiz is making adjustments as every time Echols takes a step forward.
You see Ortiz outlanded Echols 12 to 11, but of the 12 landed by Ortiz, 10 were jabs. Echols landed 8 power shots of his 11 connects, and when you just think about it from probably a judge's standpoint, and the power shots are always more noticeable. So you could make the case for Ortiz, but you could also make the case for Echols in that first one. In fact, I gave it to Echols.
There's those counter punches by Ortiz.
Nice double left hand by Ortiz.
He's playing it right now. He's got a good punch in front of him, an experienced guy in front of him. He's allowing Echols to take the chances, see what Echols has, not leaving himself open to anything.
Step back, Antwun.
He's looking to counter when Echols gets a little lax. A little long with his punches. Ortiz has a definite fight plan in there, which gives him a chance to win. He knows what he doesn't want to do. Doesn't want to punch at the wrong times. He wants to punch when there's no danger.
Mentioned that Echols got knocked out in his pro debut by Anthony Ivory. Also was down against Brian Barbosa. Dropped in the 8th round. Fell on 2 of the judges' cards before pulling out a 9th round stopper.
In a tremendous fight. But he knocked Barbosa out of the ring, and Barbosa could not get back in the ring in time. Just watch Ortiz. He knows exactly what he wants to do. If Echols stands in front of him, he'll get off. If Echols walks in, he'll be defensively sound and look to counter.
Teddy, when I paced off the ring inside the ropes before we came on the air, I came up with close to 22 feet. Does that favor Ortiz? Is he able to, that extra space?
Yeah, it does. Doesn't make him feel cramped. Doesn't make him feel like he has to be on those ropes. Gives him the option of moving wherever he wants to without a rope banging into his back. If he wants to stay off those ropes like he's doing.
Lionel Ortiz fighting a smart bout against Antwun Echols through the first 2 rounds.
Ortiz has a good plan. When his man, the big punching Echols, reaches in, he counters like that with that double left hook.
Round number 3 underway between Lionel Ortiz and Antwun Echols. Echols in white, Ortiz in the blue. Scheduled for 12. And a pretty good round number 2 for the challenger, Lionel Ortiz.
Yes, he was. I like what I see from Ortiz so far. Has a definite fight plan in this fight.
See that Ortiz landed 14 of 86. 11 of the 14 connects were power shots, compared to round number 1 when 10 of his 12 connects were jabs.
See that jab by Echols, and that's going to be important in this fight. Drove his man right to the rope. Now this is where Echols wants to keep him, but he's just out of the body. Ortiz already shows he can move his head pretty well.
Yep, and he avoids the danger. Didn't get caught with a shot. Oh, walked into that one.
That's where Ortiz has to be careful. Because Echols does have that dynamite in his hand.
Ortiz fires right back, though.
Ortiz is making sure he does not overcommit himself. He's waiting for spots to punch. Echols has to be careful he doesn't get lulled to sleep. Ortiz is the kind of guy all of a sudden he'll punch when you don't expect it.
A couple of nice right-hand body shots by Echols.
That's where Echols should be going. Take those legs away from Ortiz. Take that head movement away. Good adjustment this round by Echols. Good job in the corner by Joe Goosen. Because Echols has come out a little stiff in this round. Going to the body a little bit more. Using that jab better.
Echols sort of just digging in now, Teddy.
Yeah, he is. Ortiz is helping him a little bit by standing in front of him a little bit more.
Joe Goosen calling from Echols' corner. Back him up. Back him up.
Use that jab to back him up. And go to that body when you're close. This is where Ortiz does not want to stay. 10 seconds.
Final seconds of the round. Echols opening up.
Well, right here you see some good body work. That's one way to take those legs away from Mr. Ortiz, and Echols definitely was going to that body. Came out with that in his mind. Then at the end of the round, Ortiz made the mistake. We talked about it earlier. Don't lay on those ropes with Mr. Echols. Echols started to take advantage of it, walking his man into punches with good left hook there. Some nice counter punching, taking what was given to him by Mr. Echols.
Well, Ortiz had a good round two, but Echols turned the tide in round number 3. We get set for the start of round number 4. Echols defending his USBA Middleweight Championship. The vacant NABF title at stake. If you're not familiar, those are regional titles, very well-respected titles that go back a long time, both the USBA for the United States and the NABF for the North American titles. They're not like some of those other quote-unquote world sanctioning bodies that pop up all over the world. Just throw out a couple of letters and say, hey, we have world titles. These are very respected regional titles that have a sense of history behind them.
Echols has come out very much more definite the last 2 rounds.
You see in the last round, Teddy, Echols threw 108 punches. He was only averaging about 74 punches a round through the first 2.
Yeah, the first couple of rounds, Bob, he was drifting. He was in there, he wasn't sure what he wanted to do. He was just hanging out. A lot of movement, but not a lot of solid substance. Now you see substance. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He's moving his man backwards.
Short little left in there by Ortiz. Didn't phase Echols much.
Ortiz is a beauty. In between all this work, Ortiz will look to throw counters. Little short counters.
Hey, one thing I noticed, though, is he switches to southpaw. In that last instance, when he has back toward the ropes, there wasn't as much head movement from Ortiz, and he got tagged.
Starting to stand a little bit straight up. Some of that body work might be helping Mr. Echols.
The switch to southpaw by Ortiz.
Well, he had a bad round the round before. He's trying to pull something out of the hat. Wants to see how it works. Then he'll decide whether or not to stick with it. Wants to do something to stem the tide. Not a bad idea, especially if it works. Right now, he thinks it's working, so he's staying with it. This is where Echols needs to go to the body and then bring the uppercut up. Because Ortiz, to get away from punches, every once in a while he'll lean forward. He'll be walking into an uppercut. The last punch should be an uppercut from Mr. Echols.
Double left hook to the body by Ortiz.
Ortiz was laying on the rope just where Echols would want him, but Echols is not doing what he should do in this spot. He's not going to the body. He's going to the head too much. Giving him chance for Ortiz to do some good counter work.
Yeah, Ortiz did a very good job of fighting off the ropes.
He sure did.
At the end of round 4.
Good job. Good job.
Teddy Atlas, round number 4 was very interesting. Echols had control in most of the round, but Ortiz finished the round, the last minute 15, very strongly. And you can make a case for giving Ortiz that last round. He switched to southpaw, so Echols wasn't able to really connect a lot. And Ortiz landed the more meaningful shots.
Well, I was saying, he's a cutie, Ortiz. You can't fall asleep with this guy.
Now he switches back to right-handed. And there's a double jab from Ortiz.
Ortiz has the looks of a solid thrower there. Guy that doesn't fade, guy that doesn't fall apart, doesn't panic. He's steady all the way through.
Well, this is his 30th bout as a pro. Granted, it's not been against the greatest of competition.
Look for him to look for counters here, Ortiz. Nice short punches. He's looking to make sure that he deals with the defense the way he's supposed to, and then he's looking to counter.
Punch numbers through 4 rounds. And you see Echols has only landed 1 more punch. Echols has thrown over 100 punches in each of the last 2 rounds. There's a right hand and a left hand. Ortiz shakes it off.
And he was shaken by that, Ortiz. Can't afford to take too many of those with a power puncher like Echols.
Ortiz has been knocked out once back in 1994 in Michigan. Joseph Chuanuka, who we've seen before, stopped him, but it was more on cuts than anything else. So he obviously could take a shot, Teddy.
Watch his.
He's taking some pretty clean shots from Echols here in this round.
The key is not to take 2 or 3 in a row. He gets hit one move, so the next one don't land. And then come right back, so Echols can't sit in there.
No. Let him out. Break. Step back.
The real good fighters through the history of boxing, Bob. They never get caught 2 in a row real clean. So he got caught there, Ortiz, off the top of the head with that right hand.
Keep up.
But then the next one didn't land. Echols should be going to the body more. I notice when Echols has hurt Ortiz, it's been off the top of the head.
It's been a much better round for Antwun Echols.
And he's moving his head in between his punches pretty well, Echols. And that's giving him opportunities to come back and catch Ortiz walking in like that.
10 seconds.
Right now, Echols is looking to walk Ortiz into punches.
Well, each round they take turns controlling the action. The reigning middleweight champions of the world, Antwun Echols, has had a shot at Bernard Hopkins, lost a 12-round decision back in December. He's trying to add the NABF title to his USBA title. And round number 6 underway between Echols and Ortiz for the 3rd consecutive round now. Antwun Echols has thrown over 100 punches in a round. He's averaging about 20 more punches thrown per round than Ortiz.
Ortiz has been prone to cuts in fights. That has not been a problem, obviously, so far.
4 fights ago, he had a technical win against Kenny McKinney. Accidental cut in the 9th round. He was ahead on the cards. See the punches in round number 5. 20 of the 24 landed by Echols were power shots.
See, Ortiz came out this round, Bob, using his legs a little bit more. He'd like to do more of that. He just can't keep it up every round. Obviously, you do not want to lay in front of a guy who has the dynamite in his gloves the way Echols does.
No. Break. No punch. Good job. Step back in. Fox.
Teddy, your scorecard through the first 5 rounds. 49-47 for Echols. He had it even in round 4. I gave round 4 to Ortiz. I have it 48-47 for Echols. This even round.
Had to be there somewhere. Didn't want you to go home unhappy.
You need one. Oh, good right hand by Echols.
But so far the key is the second punch has not landed. Ortiz has been able to deal with the one, but avoid the second one. That body attack, that's where Echols needs to go.
And now there's a cut. Cut on the left eye of Ortiz. Left eyebrow. We'll find out after the round from referee Bill Clancy if from a clash of heads or a punch.
Right, no punch, step back.
It's a good round for Echols anyway.
Echols mixes it up pretty good. He should be given credit for that. He'll lead, he'll press, but then sometimes he'll do a pretty good job of making you miss and carrying like he's doing right now. Watch how he walks Ortiz into punches. He'll do a pretty good job stepping, using his legs a little bit, and walking Ortiz into counters.
Right on the left corner of the eyebrow on the left eye. The left eye is swelling as well.
10 seconds.
And nothing new to Mr. Ortiz, as we mentioned. He's been cut before.
Back-to-back solid rounds by Antwun Echols.
Good job.
Georgia Collard working on the cut of Lionel Ortiz. He was cut in the last round.
Was that a headbutt or a punch?
Referee Bill Clancy tells us that it was a punch. You know, he tells the Ortiz corner the same thing. So if this fight gets stopped, if that cut worsens, Teddy, Echols would be the winner.
On our scorecard, he sure would be.
He wouldn't even have to go to the card since it was from a punch.
Oh, that's right. It would be stopped. Absolutely right.
In the last 4 rounds, Echols is throwing over 100 punches around. Let's take a look. We believe this is where he gets cut. Right there. I don't know where punch was, but referee Bill Clancy says it was a punch. And we're underway with round number 7. It looks like the shoulder of Echols may have hit Ortiz.
Good setup there by Mr. Echols. Body, then right up to the head. Watch how Echols will. You know, you look at a guy like Echols, good puncher, aggressive guy, you think he's just a walking guy, but I see an improvement in the short 6 weeks he's been with Joe Kusin. I see him moving his head better, defensively sounder, and doing some good work counterpunching. Mixing it up a little.
Yeah, you mentioned walking his man into shots.
I've seen that tonight. Right now he's leading, but watch how he'll take a little step back, and if his man reaches in, like he's trying to do right there, he'll fill the spot. And he moves his head in between his punches, Echols does. And then that creates a position where he makes his man miss, he can fill the hole. And right there, he threw a punch, he moved, he made the punch miss, and then there was another chance for offense.
Watch your head.
Offense and defense should work together. You punch, you move. You move, you create more opportunities for more offensive opportunities. Right there.
Yeah.
You just watch him close, you'll see a lot of things happen. Echols is getting his hands off, he moves his head. Anytime he gets something missing, he has another chance to move those hands.
Ortiz cannot languish on those ropes.
Ortiz is turning southpaw, trying to do anything he can to try to turn the tempo a little bit, try to stem the tide like we said earlier.
Echols backing up Ortiz with the right hand. Less head movement from Ortiz. Echols went for the home run with that uppercut.
And another thing I like about Echols, a big puncher, he's keeping his position when he punches, Bob. You don't see him load up where he's out of position with one punch. He throws a punch, he's in position, come back with another one. A lot of big punches don't do that.
End of round 7, another big round for Antwun Echols. We'll keep it right here as both men head back to their respective corners. We will join the corner of Lionel Ortiz, Lou Martinez, and Rudy Hernandez, his trainers.
How do you
Saul
feel?
Avilar,
Hey, Bobby.
translate.
You gotta hit him in the leg. Get him a good shot to the leg. Hit him low.
It's really bad. He can't even see on it. No, he can't.
Can he see? Can he see? He's asking if he can see from the eye. This is a 5 of 10 rounds.
That's it. You don't want him more.
Looked like they stopped him.
Yeah, well, they basically said Ortiz didn't want any more. The cornermen and the ringside doctor asked him how he felt, and you heard the corner say he doesn't really want any more.
Give me the scissors. Scissors.
Interesting, they were asking him to hit him low. Anyway.
You know, they were desperate. They knew that obviously Ortiz was getting worn out in there and was having trouble holding Echols back, and they were looking to do something to slow down Echols.
That's right.
Even if it was something you're not supposed to do.
My man, you're a good fighter. Very good fighter. You okay? You okay?
So Antwun Echols
You put on a good fight.
defends his USBA Middleweight Championship, and he wins the vacant
I got a lot of admiration.
NABF title.
Okay, good luck to you in the future, okay?
And Echols picks up win number 24, gets his 23rd stoppage.
He's a hell of a fighter.
Echols landed 132 of 698 punches. Ortiz 96 of 567. Cut left eye of Lionel Ortiz, and he did not want to continue. We'll speak with Antwun Echols, but Antwun Echols stops Lionel Ortiz. He does not answer the bell for the start of round number 8, and Antwun Echols joins us. He keeps his USBA title, picks up the NABF title that he had, and you were able to turn this fight around in the middle round. What was the key for you?
I'm just taking my time and, you know, getting out there and getting my work and getting heated up. You know, I needed to do that. Lionel came out with some pressure the first round and came up with his jab very good, and so I wasn't able to counter right away.
Antwun, early on, it looked like Ortiz had a good fight plan for you. He was going to be a little cute in there, use his legs, but then you started going to the body, and that changed it around a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I started busting him to the liver, and that cut his wind off, and I started to wear him down. Lionel Ortiz is a good fighter, but I was just a little bit stronger tonight. And my combinations start coming on.
From what I saw an improvement since you've been working with Goosen. I saw that jab, and I saw a little bit more defense.
Oh, yeah, Goosen's had me out there. They had me working out there hard 6 weeks. I had good sparring partners, and he taught me my fundamentals, and that's all I needed.
Will you get another world title shot this year?
Oh, yeah, if Hopkins doesn't move down, we will fight him definitely, and it will be a good rematch, and I will be the victor.
Well, you showed tonight that you have improved. Congratulations. Antwun Echols, outstanding performance.